Madam Hope Nankunda. She's the founder and CEO of Raising Teenagers Uganda. When I think of the best organization that is working with the girls, I want to say that is my view and observation. But you're welcome on the show, Madam Hope. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me around.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I am happy to be here. Finally.
Finally.
The call has been long. You started calling me, I think, in September.
Yeah.
But the time hasn't been a friendly one, so I'm happy I'm able to come here today and speak to the listeners.
I'm also wondering why you're in the country today. Most often I see you not around. When I reach out, you see you're not around the country.
Yeah.
But finally, we're happy to have you here. And I hope we're going to have a very wonderful discussion in issues relating to supporting culture. First, for starters, who is Hope Nankunda, for someone who is watching her for the very first time? I am sure most of the people watching us on Excel TV are either hearing you or seeing you for the very first time. And they would want to understand the lady I am seated with, the weight I am with in the studio today.
So, my name is Hope Nankunda Mwishuka. I am a mother of 3 daughters. I am a wife to a very fine gentleman. I lead an organization called Raising Teenagers Uganda. I am a teacher by profession. They say once a teacher, always a teacher.
Yeah, that's right.
I trained as a teacher and I only taught for 5 years. But in those 5 years, I was able to realize that actually I was meant for counseling and not teaching. So I had to go back to school and do counseling psychology, which led me to working with adolescents. So I work with adolescents in different parts of the country and the world. And that is how Raising Teenagers Uganda was born, because after becoming a professional counselor, I found myself working more with young people in schools and even those that are out of school, but mainly helping them through counseling and guiding them to achieve their true potential in life.
Okay. Someone would want to, understand, as a vision bearer, as a founder of Raising Teenagers. First, the name.
Yeah.
Secondly, what caused the coming of the name, and what exactly did you have in mind when you were starting up Raising Teenagers?
Okay. While I was teaching in the 5 years I mentioned, I realized that many girls in the school where I was teaching would miss school most days of the month without clear explanations, and that caught my attention. And sometimes then I would call them and say, why didn't you come to school last week? They would find excuses that were not really adding up. My Jaja was sick, my uncle was not home. So you find that I would realize that actually there's something that they are hiding. And I realized I needed to get much closer to them for them to be able to speak up and open up. And it is in that season when I realized that many girls would stay home while in their periods. And it's not because they did not have sanitary pads, no. They were scared to stain their dresses and be laughed at by boys and given nicknames, And this was a school in Naguru, so it was a high-end school. So this means that when we talk about menstruation, we are not talking about the poor. Some people think we are talking about menstruation because some
people can't afford pads.
No. When you talk about menstrual justice, it is for every woman and girl. So those girls would have the sanitary pads, would have the knickers, would have the water, but they would prefer to stay home every time they were in their periods, because there they are confident that no one will see them stain a dress by accident, and therefore they won't be given any nickname. And for me, that was an eye-opener, that girls needed someone they can listen to, and they give them the confidence that actually menstruation is here to stay. It is not going anywhere. But every time you miss school, 3, 4, 5 days a month, learning is still going on. So you'll find that you're going to miss out on notes, you're going to miss out on some tests, and at the end of the term, you are going to have a report that does not actually explain who you actually are because you missed some of the days because of periods.
Yeah.
So I took it upon myself to, one, build the confidence of girls and give them reasons why they must come to school even when they're in their periods. And it started by me sharing my story. We have all menstruated, we all menstruate, but we don't sit home because periods are ongoing. And when I was doing all that, it led me to the parents. Because some of the issues we talk about, I could talk to your child, but if a parent is not informed to also add on the information I'm giving, then it is half-baked information.
Yeah.
So I would now connect with parents to encourage them that, please, if your daughter tells you she's not going to school, try to encourage them to go to school, because these are the reasons they are not going, but give them all the reasons they need to be able to go to school, because they have the sanitary pads. So give them confidence that if they put their pad properly, they won't actually stain, because now the fear was actually stigma, nothing else. But because I was spending more time now guiding girls on how to make sure they don't miss school, the school administration realized that I was doing that more than teaching. At some point they asked me, do you really know why you're here?
Are you here to teach or here
yeah,
to
you are always talking to children, you forget what brought you here.
Yeah.
And I think that was an eye-opener for me, that teaching wasn't enough. So I made a decision to go back to school, do another degree in counseling psychology, and now start an organization. Now, this is a whole transition that was very, very unique and, again, eye-opening, because I was sure if I become a counselor by profession, I have my very good degree that I got, I was sure that immediately I graduate, I'll get a job. But no one wanted to employ a counselor. I came from studying, I went to schools to say I'm looking for a job to do counseling with the young people, and all of them were saying we don't have vacancies for counselors. It's actually the senior women teachers who do this kind of work.
Yeah.
And now I was like, okay, did I make the right decision? I should have stayed teaching and earn that little money than now stay home, because indeed I stayed home for almost a year without a job, because all schools were saying they don't employ counselors.
Yeah.
Until I said, okay, I am coming to give counseling services to your school, but for free. And guess what?
Every
they
school
were all
was welcome.
happy. Please, you're welcome. You know, people love free things, you know. But I think unless we display what we can offer, the world will not know how important it is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because they would give me like 2 hours in a week, and in about a month they saw a lot of change in the school environment, the discipline of the children, the confidence of the girls, and they were happy. And now it was the people who didn't want to give me money that were telling other schools, if you want someone to talk to your girls, call Hope. And that is when I said, okay, now that they know the value, I can attach money. Because now they knew counseling is helping. Now they knew if you want to talk to a parent, this is a counselor who can talk to parents and they'll understand how to deal with their children. So that is when I was like, I think now that they know the value, if a parent called me and said they wanted to meet me or they want me to meet their child, now I started attaching a cost to my service.
I want to understand, in the transition period of you after finishing your degree, especially the counseling degree and sitting home, did you reach a point and feel like you, at a certain point, you made a wrong decision?
Yes.
To quit teaching?
Yes.
And what did you learn in that period?
In that period, you know, when you don't have a job, I'm a person who doesn't believe in asking a man for everything I need. So that was that season when I knew, one, I don't have money. So there are things you need as a woman and you really need them, but you don't have the money.
Yes.
So asking my husband for this money and that money, for me, it was so painful. Good thing he's a very wonderful man, so there is no time I really missed out. He would give me whatever I needed.
I am imagining for those who have bad husbands who cannot provide every time.
I know.
But yeah,
It is very painful for you to be home, you're not working. Now it's you in your periods. You don't even have money for sanitary pads. You are helping girls out there, but you can't even help yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so that year was a very, very challenging year for me. But he was there to provide for me. But it was an eye-opener. I was like, did I have to leave teaching? Maybe I should have done part-time so that I can keep earning some money.
Yeah.
But the damage was already done. So all I wanted to look out for was, how can I actually get back on my feet and earn some money? So if I had decided, say, schools don't want to give me money, let me sit home, I think I would still be home and doing nothing, even today. I don't even know how I would be like. I don't want to think about that line. It would be bad. But to cut the long story short, when now people started referring me to other schools, you know, if you want someone to talk to your students, call Hope Nankunda. If you want someone to talk to your parents, schools would call me on parents' meetings.
Yeah.
Just to help them with parenting skills of the young girls.
And sometimes they would provide only few, or sometimes they would not call.
Sometimes they would not give. But now when I started earning is when I would get a one-on-one. Someone calls me, I want you to meet my daughter. And they would even ask me, how much do you charge?
Yeah.
I hadn't even set some fee to ask, so I would wonder, what do I ask now? Remember, I want the money, but I have not even set what it should be.
The real
like.
price.
Yes.
Because at times you even haven't understood the cost of
the cost of that
activity you're
service.
doing. Yes.
Someone is saying, my daughter is on holiday, but we are not having a good relationship. I want you to talk to her and guide her. So that is when I was like, I think there is a challenge, there is a gap. And actually, that's how raising teenagers came up. Because parents who are calling me to help their children these were teenage girls and boys. You know, the mother said, I can't talk to my child, she can't talk to me. Everyone is moving in the house and no one is saying hello to each other. Please talk to my child. Maybe she may listen to you. So I realized that raising children is actually a challenge.
Yeah.
And I needed to fill that gap. So that's how I called the organization Raising Teenagers Uganda, because I was actually raising the teenagers in different homes. And at some point, I was like, yes, the name is here, but where do I take the people? I didn't even have an office, you know. But all that was a process that I look back at, and I'm like, for anything good to happen, there has to be a starting point.
That's right. And
I think I'm happy I got to start. But getting to start at a point of, I am coming to work for you, don't pay me anything. That is how I started. And that is what I want people to know out there. That sometimes your skill may not be known to many until you give it out.
Yeah.
Today is Giving Tuesday. How much do you give, for example? For me, I gave time to do counseling for young people in schools for nothing. But because I gave it for nothing, now I can earn from it, because people realized that actually counseling for young people is a game changer. Raising teenagers means you must be a friend to them, you must be listening to them, you must understand that they have transitioned from being children to young people, and therefore you must sit with them on a table and guide them, but also allow them to talk to you.
Yeah.
So all that are processes, but they start with giving. So sometimes when you say give, you must have followed my giving scenarios. Giving is not about money.
Yeah.
Giving is giving time, giving is giving your comfort, giving hugs, giving encouragement, because sometimes people, what people need is not actually your money. There are people who need to hear a word of encouragement.
Yeah.
Can you give it to them, so that when they later look back, they will know that you gave them, even if it wasn't money, but what you gave was life-changing.
This is an interesting conversation, listening to an experienced lady like Madame Hope, because sometimes you talked about something that is very interesting, especially on how you started, especially after sitting home for a year, and now realize that you might not earn money as faster as you thought, as you expected. And this is where most people go off track. This is where most people lose it. And when you start giving free services, sometimes people think, did you reach a time of, and you started thinking, maybe I either went to a wrong profession, or I did not understand exactly the play of the game. Because you're here looking for how you're earning, and now you're here giving free services. What did you expect during that time, and what lessons did you learn from there that you can maybe give to one or two people out here? out
Yeah.
here who are thinking of setting up something. But people nowadays, when they are setting up organizations like yours that
Yeah.
are coming up, they have a mindset that they will start out something today and
And it
tomorrow they will
will
be
be
earning
all-
billions of money.
exactly.
Yes, maybe you could give them a 1 or 2 words, then we'll come to
Yeah.
when and how long has Raising Teenagers been in play now?
So, my word to people out there, especially the young people, is that it's important to exercise patience. Do not give up. I think if I wasn't patient with myself, I would have rushed quickly to another school. And I say, let me forget about this second degree which I went for. It's not helping me for a full year. I'm not working. Let me go back to another school somewhere and resume teaching.
Yeah.
I don't know how my life would be today if I was now back to actual teaching. I don't want to think about it. But patience and resilience. Patience helps you to understand that it's not over. I may not have the job today, but doesn't mean that tomorrow I will not have it. So you keep hopeful. When your hope is unlimited, you realize that every day something new will come.
Yeah.
And when you have that belief, you are actually empowering yourself to become a better person. So when you want to do something out there, don't first say, I will see who gives me more money for me to go and do this.
Yeah.
No, start with what you have. I always tell young people, today there is technology.
Yeah.
Every young person has a smartphone in your hands. You have it. How do you use it to even grow yourself? I emphasize branding so much because I have branded myself.
Yeah.
You called me here because you know who I am and what I stand for.
Yeah.
So can every young person out there try to exhibit what they want to be known for? If you want to be known to be a particular person who offers this service, can you dedicate your time to brand it right? So that even when you are not having the money that you need, but someone can actually mention your name in a room where you are not. And they'll say, if you want this, call so and so. So right now, if I want to challenge young people, can your name be mentioned in any room that you're good at this? And how do you put yourself there? It is by branding yourself. What you show us is what we see.
That's true.
What I showed people is what they saw. That is how they would refer me to different parents, refer me to different schools, and they say, call so and so, she will give you the service that you need because I had done the branding. So I want to encourage you that whatever you want to do in life, you put in the work yourself. No one else will. Push yourself harder. Be intentional. Align yourself with people who believe in the same dream like you have. Because again, one challenge we have is that you want to be a counselor, but you are only relating with people who are not even connected to counseling.
Yeah.
So somehow you get diverted. I stayed around the right people. Having the right groups, the right support system helps you to stay committed, but also to stay intentional.
Okay.
So I want to encourage everyone out there that patience pays, resilience pays, but you must do the work. So that when time comes for you to set off, what you prepared in that season will be your password to let you go to another level of earning what you actually deserve to earn.
We will come to whether this generation they really wants to hear the word patience and resilience anymore. But that will be a discussion for another. Let's get to understand. When do you think of starting Raising Teenagers? When did it start? How long have you been operating? Then maybe later after the break we'll be engaging into the programs, wonderful programs that this organization has. But for now, how long have you been in operation and when did you start and things like that?
Raising Teenagers Uganda was established in 2014. So as we talk now, we are 11 years old. We are still children.
11 years?
Yes.
You're coming to being teenagers,
we are about to be teenagers.
Yeah.
So it is 11 years since Raising Teenagers started. And the 11 years have been magical. Because when you look at what we've been able to achieve in those years, we pat ourselves at the back and say, yes, thank you, God, you made it possible. But also, when we talk about the 11 years, the first 5 were those years that one would say, did I make the right decision, start an organization? What am I actually doing? Like, you're questioning yourself if it was right to start an organization.
The first 5 years?
Yes, because for the first 5 years, I didn't even have an office. Imagine for 5 years.
I can imagine you're the only sponsor of your organization.
I was the only sponsor. People who would remember me, there are people who used to see me. I would sell eggs. I would distribute eggs in supermarkets and then use the profits to even buy the sanitary pads, go to schools and support the girls. So I was using my own profits to make sure that my organization keeps going because I didn't want it to die. I was seeing something bigger coming, but I wasn't sure how long I had to wait. So the word patience comes back. How patient are you? People start organizations, like you said, in 1 year they close because they started thinking as soon as you register, you're going to get funding. No, things do not work that way. You must, people who want to fund you want to see what you've done for yourself. What have you put in place? Why should anyone trust you with their money if you have not even trusted yourself with your own money? So the first 5 years were personal, they were hard, but I didn't give up. And maybe later I'll tell you what happened, the magic. Where the magic came from.
Listening to a life coach, listening to a counselor is one of the best things. And when they are deliberating or talking, sometimes it is hard for you to cut them short. But for now, allow us to go for a short breather, a short break, and when we come back like this, we want to understand what programs does Raising Teenagers have, and what have they done before, where have they achieved, and maybe we'll also get to understand where the magic came from and where was the breakthrough. This after this commercial break.
Excel TV. Tuchusa bulamu.
Praise the Lord. I hope the Lord has kept you well. We as the Miracle Center Church, we are blessed that this year we are going to have again our Thanksgiving service here. And we are going to have 2 services. The first and then the second service. The second and third will be joined together. And that will be beginning at 9 and it will go up to 1:30. We shall have lunch here. We shall have a time of praise and a time of giving thanks, bringing our gifts to the Lord for the far He has brought us. In the book of Samuel, First Samuel, chapter 7 and verses 12, Samuel had won a battle. God had given him victory over a battle. And he said, oh, why not remember this day? And he chose to put a stone and he built it and named it Ebenezer. So this year, we are naming it Ebenezer for us as we appear in the presence of God to offer our thanksgiving to Him. Please don't miss. Tugenda kuba tukulinze nawe Mukama alina kyakkoledde. Jangu omwebaze, jangu omuwe ekitiibwa, omuyimuse. Tusuubira okulaba. Have a wonderful time.
Nkulamusizza nnyo mu linnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu Kristo. Era nkwebaza okwekuumira ku Excel TV. Mukama mulungi nti yatuwa omukutu guno okusobola okubuulirako enjiri alina okusisinkana abantu betamena kumanya kubanga TV eno egenda wala. Excel TV okubeera ku mpewo kyetaagisa ssente. Tusasula emisolo gya government, license fees, nituba ne equipment ez'enjalo zetukozesa zetugula buli kanaku. So n'olw'ensonga eyo nandyagadde otwegatteko ku mulimu gwa Excel TV okubeera ku mpewo otya ng'otuwagira ne ssente zo. Tutandise campaign ya kunoonya obukadde 100. Nkiddamu obukadde 100. Nga ssente ezo za kugamba Excel TV esobole okuweereza obulungi. N'olw'ensonga eyo nkusaba obere partner ne Excel TV. Oyinza okugamba nti buli mwezi nja kuwangayo ssente bwe ziti oba buli week nja kuwangayo ssente bwe ziti. Excel TV ekuŋŋaanya ssente mu ngeri 3: mobile money, ennamba ezo eziri ku screen yo ogenda kuzikozesa oyiseeko ssente mwaga amannya mwe ziri. Ensonga ey'okubiri, ssente ojja ziteeka kwa akaunti ya Excel TV era nayo akaunti yeeyo. Ensonga oba engeri ey'okusatu mwogenda okukikolera, ojja kujja ku Kireka Miracle Center Church Excel TV weesangibwa, oleete support yo, oleete ssente zo, ne Mukama agenda kuwa omukisa. Era manyi gwe wamu nange ne Excel TV yonna tusobola okubuulira enjiri mu linnya erya Mukama waffe Yesu Kristo. God bless you.
Hello friend, you are invited to an evening of inspiration and powerful worship at Kireka Miracle Center Church. This is called the Tuze Kusinza. It will be an evening of dedicated praise, prayer and worship led by Pastor Pade Musoke, our guest worshipper Pastor Wilson Mwanguzi and the Kireka Miracle Center worship team. A moment where you will enjoy the presence of the Lord, find rest for your soul and lift up your spirit. This will be on the 14th of December 2025. Starting from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Remember, we worship God for who He is. Come just as you are. All are welcome.
Excel TV. Tukyusa bulamu.
Embeera mu baana abawala nga nze wano ewange kyankaluubiriramuko emabegako eyo. Nalinako abaana bange abawala abakulu naye nga obusobozi butono.
Okusinziira ku bizibu bye ndaba mu maka gaffe oba mu kyalo kyaffe, abakyala ffe tuweerera ate oluusi omukyala gw'obeera waawaka omwami yakuzaalamu n'akulekaawo kati ng'olina okutetenkanya.
In 2019, we started a project. The aim of this project is mainly to contribute to the efforts towards ending child marriage and supporting girls to stay in school until they complete their education, and also educating parents and local leaders about the benefits of keeping girls in school and the dangers associated with child marriage.
Before the intervention of Raising Teenager Uganda, we had a few children, enrollment was low, but after the coming in, through talking to the parents in the community, now the enrollment has increased. And now we are having new blocks.
Aba Raising Teenagers, bwe bajja ku ssomero banoonyaamu omwana eyali asinga banne ku magezi era ne balondamu Nganze Mukisa, ne bampa embuzi era nga zinnyambyeko okugula ebitabo, school fees muwayo mu budde, ne bato bange abalala ababiri nabo zibayambe.
Abazadde mbasaba mwenna abalina abaana naye nga tebasoma mwenyigire mu bibiina ebisobola okubawa ssente musobole okulabirira abaana bammwe, kubanga bw'oba tosomye bagamba okusoma kuluma bukulu.
Okay, welcome back from that short breather. We were just here having a simple discussion. You know, when we go off screen, off your screen doesn't mean that we have stopped the conversation. She was telling me here she is on a hot seat. She had to stand on fast tracks, you know. But that's all okay. So we're back now. Before we went in for a break, we had discussed a lot of things, including how we started up the organization. but we want to drive to the programs of the organization. We've just played a short video. I think that gives a summary of some of the activities you do, but someone would want to hear from the founder's mouth, the horse's mouth, now that you're here, what you do and how did you arrive to those kind of programs that you run in your organization.
Okay, thank you. Mainly our work at Raising Teenagers entirely is to keep girls in school as a means of ending child marriage. Those who know me, I am a very strong campaigner for ending child marriage, because I believe that every girl and boy should be able to stay in school, study and complete, and then marry after university. You know, after they have grown. I don't believe in getting a 13-year-old girl to go in someone's home they are a wife. No. Being a wife is not a joke. You know, even
it's people, a full-time job.
People who are older and their wives, they are on hot seats. And then you take now a young girl of 12 years that they are going to get married. I just wish everyone in this country would be part of the campaign to end child marriage. Like, we support every girl to stay in school until they complete their education. So our programs look at underprivileged children. Those who are at the verge of dropping out of school. One, we support them through education. There are some kids who are on our sponsorship program. And our sponsorship program is unique in a way that we look for children who are very, very bright from our underprivileged families, and we support them to go to the schools of their choice. I'll give you an example. A child studies well in a government school, gets 4 aggregates at P7, but because she's poor, she cannot go to her best school which she wants. She has to go to another bad school because she can't afford. So those are the people we look out for. So we have students we support in Bweranyangi. We have students we support in Mary Hill. Yes.
Mary Hill.
Mary Hill. We have students we support in Gayaza. Because we believe that if you support one girl in that family, that one girl will transform her entire home.
Yeah, that's true.
Educating one girl from that poor background, she will come and just transform the entire family. So that is our model of sponsorship. We also do mentorship programs. And our mentorship programs are open to young people between the ages of 10 and 19. We do holiday camps. We do teens with mentors camps. We bring students from different parts of the country to come together, share learnings, share experiences, and seek guidance. You know, we have young people who are not comfortable talking to their parents. They will keep their secrets, they will tell their friends at school, but their mother will never hear, their father will never hear that secret. So we create an environment. One, in the schools, we do school clubs where we get young people together and we meet them twice in a term. But in holidays, we do camps. And these bring together the young girls from different schools where we bring different mentors, and they all come with different topics to talk about with these young people. And these opportunities help young people to speak up about the issues affecting them, but also they lead us to their parents. I told you we do with young people and parents. So you must know that every time we have a teens camp, then we follow it with a parents gathering, because we invite those parents who gave us their children to give them feedback, because we can't keep the feedback to ourselves. Those children are not ours. They are growing up in their home. So if a problem is in their home, it is our duty to say, Daddy, Mommy, this child actually has this challenge. And all you need is to work with them in this way, or listen to them, or if you can't talk to them, send them to another auntie who they are free with. Like, we want an environment where a child can feel safe. If a man is disturbing them, I'll give you an example. There are girls who are actually harassed. Our programs also go to university students. So you've had to hear students from university who are being harassed with lecturers. The lecturers who ask for sex in exchange for marks. It's so embarrassing, you know, that a parent pays tuition for a child, and this lecturer says, before I give you the marks you actually worked for, you must sleep with me first. This is unacceptable. So we create an environment where we can actually support these girls, one, lead them to actually open up and report. We have had cases reported and actually addressed, and then help parents. If these girls can't reach to us, they should be safe to reach to their parents. So we support parents to actually practice positive parenting practices. For one to be a parent is not enough. If you're raising your children, number one requirement is for you to be a friend.
Yeah.
Children do not disappoint friends. They don't. So if your child is your friend, they'll want to tell you their secrets. I always have secrets of my daughters. They tell me what happens at school, who said what are they going through, because I give them that opening. Tell me, trust me, and I will guide you.
I am sure you know that parents are now very busy.
Yes.
One of the problems I've found with the students, I am sure you know that I also work with students. I will share in relation to how we find students. I have found students who want to open up to us, the strangers, or the counselors, more than the parents and the teachers. And most of the times these students caution you, if I share what I have with you, would you keep it as a secret? Sometimes they have you, swear before they tell you something. Have you encountered such scenarios, and how then do you handle them? Because sometimes you find that there are problems that where you need to engage either school administration or the parents, or move a next step beyond where you as a counselor can stop. Okay. How have you handled such cases, in case you've met any?
I have actually met many.
Yeah.
Where the young girls will say, Auntie, call me Auntie Hope. I am going to tell you my secret. Please promise me that you even do this.
Yes, yeah.
Pinky promise that you won't tell anyone. Now, it is up to me as the counselor that was trained to be a counselor to really gauge and see if what is this girl telling me and asking me to keep. There are issues that you will you hear from children, and you can actually guide them. Yeah. The two of you. You say, I will not tell daddy, but you also have to walk this step with me. Keep updating me. We are going to do this and this until you overcome this challenge. But if the challenge is actually like life-threatening, and you see that really by keeping it from the parent, you are not actually giving a service, it is good that you have a conversation with the child and tell them the reasons why the father should know and why the mother should know. Yeah. And that is supposed to be a process, please. If the child is not yet happy for you to tell their parents, give it time. Because there is nothing as painful as breaking confidentiality with a child who has already trusted you. Yeah. So there are children that trust me, will tell me so many things, and then we'll just pick like 3. Tell this to daddy, tell this to mommy. This one, don't talk about it. And I respect that. Yeah. But what they tell me not to talk about, I also make sure I follow through with them, so that between me and them, they get the right step. Because at the end of the day, we are raising teenagers. Yeah. We don't want teenagers who will go astray because they told us not to tell their parents. So we encourage them. Where we think a parent is needed, we'll say, okay, can I talk to daddy, but in this form? Like you even agree on what way to tell the parent. I will leave this one, I will tell him this. Is this okay? Okay, say it like that. But if he quarrels at me, I will not come back here. So you even go to the parent saying, be careful. What I'm going to tell you is very delicate. If you go home and mess it up, your daughter will never talk to me again. So if you want me to know more information from your daughter, be careful how you handle this. So we are actually teaching parents on how to parent their own children, how to exercise patience. There are parents who will say, can I ask her? And I said, wait. We said give it like 2 days. But you see that the mother is like, why are you telling me to wait? But you still tell them, if you mess this up, even the little information you've got today, you will never get it again, because this girl will not come to me. Or you will force her to come to me, but when she comes, she'll just keep quiet. Can you force someone to talk? No, you can't. So it is an art. Working with teenagers is an art, and we must be ready to employ it in a right way. So that at the end of the day, if you are friends, my dear parents, if you are a friend of your daughter more than a parent, you are a winner. Yeah. Because teenagers really believe in friendships.
Okay.
So they want to open up to you because you really believe them. But if you are a person who are going to start by attacking them,
Accusing them.
Yeah, you want to believe the other side before you listen to them. They will just keep quiet and watch you, and you'll be frustrated.
I am sure with the 11 years of experience and operation, you have encountered challenges.
Of course.
What are those challenges that you look at and say, "Oh my God, I remember as if I was not going to survive this day"? Have you had some of those challenges besides the first 5 years when you had no funding? You were the boss. You're the manager. You know the first 3 years. You're everything of the organization. You're the staff. You're everything. You're the team of the organization. But besides that and beyond that, what are some of the challenges as raising teenagers first that you maybe would share, and how you maybe encountered and survived them?
I don't know if we should start with challenges.
You want to start with achievements?
How we got off the challenges, how we got off to...
Yes, let's start by the way at the magic that you wanted to share.
Yeah, I want to share a magic.
The magic.
And when we start with challenges, listeners will get scared. I don't like scaring.
Oh, no, it's okay. Let's start with the magic.
How
you got where you are.
The magic, I told you I started in 2014. I think my first magic came in like 2 years later, 2016. And that is when I joined the Girls Not Brides National Partnership. I started with joining Global because Girls Not Brides is global.
Yeah.
So I became a member of the global team before knowing that there was a chapter in Uganda. So it is the global that sent me to the Uganda chapter.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, the time I joined that network, that is when my work started getting into the light. For the first time, people got to know that Raising Teenagers Uganda is actually is around and is alive. So they gave us a platform because there they would ask us to share our stories the same way you have called me here. You see, this story I'm sharing here, there are people who are listening to me who have never seen me, who will never see me in their lives, but are picking some lessons from what I've gone through. So Girls Not Brides gave us a platform where we would write stories of change in raising teenagers in Uganda. So we would share stories, they would put them on their websites, and they would be read by many people across the world. And after that, now I told you our challenge was menstruation, supporting girls to stay in school. So you would send out a call and say, we want to go to this school, support these girls. And only people who would come up to help would be people from out there, because Girls Not Brides would share on their website. So it's the Bazungu who are seeing.
Yeah.
So they would send sanitary pads, Hope, we've read about your story, please, there are some pads here, go and meet the girls. And I realized that I was getting more of the sanitary products from out there than from Uganda here. And that disturbed me, because these are our challenges. These are our girls. This is Uganda. I really wanted to see an organization that is actually supported by Ugandans themselves, because these are our issues. Yeah. And it was in 2017 when I initiated a program that is called Hike for Girls. Now, Hiking for Girls is meant to break stigma around menstruation, but also to collect sanitary pads from people to be able to give to the girls who can't afford. Yeah. So I put it in such a way that let me do an activity that allows Ugandans to go to different parts of the country, be happy, see the mountains, see the animals, see the valleys, and laugh, take pictures. But apart from that, they also contribute sanitary pads. Yeah. So for me, that my target was on the sanitary pad part.
As people are enjoying and having fun.
Yes, I'm like, I have this. I'll pull this from you. Go have fun, but a girl will stay in school. So I got to see how much Ugandans can give, because people registered to hike. I think we went to Muhavula for the first time in 2017. I took 40 hikers to Muhavula, and we supported over 300 girls in that region with sanitary pads. And for me, because that support was coming from Ugandans, that is what set it apart. It is what I wanted to see. That can we have our local challenges here addressed by our local people in Uganda? And that is what's happening. From 2017 up to today, We hike every year. We go to different mountains every year, and Ugandans are at the center. They give pads, they give knickers, they give water, they give sodas, they give everything to make sure that these activities happen and happen in a very good way. So for me, the magic was to let Raising Teenagers get out to the public.
Yeah.
We can't work alone. That's my message. If you want to touch lives of many young people, you cannot work alone. Join networks. Look for networks which do the same work like you do, and work together in partnerships.
Yeah.
Ask people, companies. I tell you that every time we go for hikings, from 2017, Lato Milk, it's a company in Uganda, they always give me all the milk for the hikers and for the children we meet. And the only thing that the owner of Lato asks me is, how many children are you going to meet? Like, it's not a problem. Just tell me how many.
Yeah.
Because if I say 500, she'll send 500. If I say 1,000, she'll send that. The last 2 years, we've had Peps come on board. Every time I'm going to hike, I'll talk to the Pepsi team, and they'll say, how many children are you meeting? And they'll give me all the soda and water that I need for that community and for the hikers. But what I'm trying to say is that everyone can give something in order to make a difference. And you can give from what you have. You don't have to look for something special out there. If you have the time, give the time. If you have the pads, give the pads. If you have the soda, give the soda. Give the water. Give anything you can, so that together, as a whole, we are making a difference and making our country a better place today, tomorrow, and forever.
I know Aunt Hope can speak until tomorrow. You know, councillors.
You are also calling me Auntie Hope.
Yes,
it's
also
going to be an auntie issue. The auntie
But
of
yes,
the world.
we have about 2 minutes to the end of this show. But I wanted us to tackle, yes, that have just run like that. I know you can't imagine it. But let's tackle the challenges that Raising Teenagers is facing. And maybe we'll look at a few of those impacts that you've made here and there. And maybe you must be proud about 1 or 2 challenges.
Okay.
I mean 2 achievements that Raising Teenagers has already, that you look at and say, yes, this is what I was fighting for. This is what I wanted. And maybe we are running there. Yes.
So we'll start with the impacts.
Yeah, we can start with the impact.
With the hikes alone, we have so far supported over 75,000 girls in Uganda who are able now to attend school every day and complete.
Wow.
We are supporting children access education in their best schools, so they can be the change makers in their families.
Yeah.
That's another winner. But also, we are building movements. For me, movement building is my thing. I want to see people coming together over and over again. If you talk about generosity, we want to see everyone trying to be generous in their own way. If we are saying end child marriage, can we have all of us come together, speak the same language? If we say we are going to talk about technology, it has come, it is here to stay. Can we encourage young people to use technology meaningfully, so that young people do not just go online to mess up their lives, but they are actually building brands, they are building themselves and empowering themselves to become better people. Those are achievements I am seeing and I'm so excited about. But I have also some challenges. And the biggest challenge I can talk about vividly here is that every day that passes, another girl starts her periods. So you realize that this is the work we are doing. We cannot finish the challenges. Like girls who need, they are overwhelming. The number is overwhelming. So no matter if I say I supported 75,000 girls, it is not because they are over. The number which needs help is what is much bigger, and we are unable to reach out to them. And that kills me, because in me, I'm like, if we have Ugandans who have already been blessed in a way, can we encourage each other to be blessers for other people? If I go to school and I'm going to support 300 girls, and I reach there and I find 500 have already seated down there, they are waiting for me, so excited. There's nothing as painful as giving the 300 and the 200 go home crying. that challenge still kills me. I want us to reach an extent where we give and the giving overflows. You
The
go,
numbers that you find
yes,
there.
you go to give 300, you give 600, and you come back with balance. But that happens only if we have more givers coming out on board, supporting the campaigns we are bringing on board, and embracing the fact that giving is natural. It is a gift that God gave us. God was the first one to give. And he put us here to be able to give as much as we can.
Yeah.
So for me, my call to the people listening to me is that whenever you can, be a giver more than a taker. Even the Bible says it, that blessed are those who give than those who take. So
Right.
you the takers, please change the game. Otherwise you'd keep taking and later you'll have nothing to take. But the givers will always receive. I am telling you, be a blessing to humanity. You are going to love the kind of life that is ahead of you.
All right. Thank you so much, Antop. I will be calling you Antop.
It is well.
Since that's how girls
Permission
call.
granted.
I am permitted to call her Antop here, but we have we are past our time. But in 1 minute only, we're in the 16 days of activism. I am sure you very much know and part of it as raising teenagers, but also as an individual. So as you give us your parting shot, please, what message would you want to leave out here to the girls during these 16 days of activism?
This season of 16 days of activism actually specifically talks about digital violence, online sexual violence. This is affecting many girls and boys, and we are saying that we can use our phones responsibly.
Yeah.
My message to the world is that every time you have that smartphone in your hands, that laptop, that iPad, and you are going to post something, think twice. Ask yourself, is this going to break someone or is it going to build someone? And for the young people, I want to encourage you to be intentional. One, what do you want us to know you for? What you show us is what we see. I still get challenged when I see people sharing nudes of young girls, but also those nudes are recorded by the girls themselves. So my message to you girls is that you can do better. Don't allow any man, no matter how much data they have given you, to ask you to remove your clothes, record yourself, and send a video to that man.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, that video will be used against you, and it will lead you to destruction. So be careful what you send out there, because what you send is what we receive.
Definitely. What you send is what you receive from Auntie Hope. Now, lastly, where can someone reach out to Raising Teenagers? Do we have contacts? Do you have a website where your office is, and maybe for better address where someone can reach out to you in case they want to help or in case they want employment?
I get many messages of employment. I can use your platform to talk about employment first. For people who have written to me so many times asking for jobs,
internees,
I know I have not responded, but let me tell you, we cannot give what we don't have. And for me, I feel so embarrassed to get a young person to my office and I can't pay them. So if I don't respond to you when you say, can I come and work with you? It's because I really do not have the space now.
Okay.
But Raising Teenagers Uganda can be found on our website. It is www.raisingteenagers.org. Our offices are located in Ntinda. It's very near the road. It's easily accessible. And we really, really want to encourage each and everyone out there to be a friend to a teenager.
Okay.
Teenagers need love. They need guidance. They need support. Please be a friend. They are dealing with so much, and all they need is someone to listen to them, to talk to them, and to guide them. Be that guiding angel for a teenager in your environment.
Okay. Thank you so much, Aunt Hope, for this wonderful and interesting conversation. I am sure our viewers out there have learned a two or things. Sometimes us when we go to talk to people, we always tell them learn one or two things. Sometimes you might not take whatever she has said, but at least learn one or two things that have changed her life, or maybe something that will change your life. My name is Enoch Mtunja. Thank you so much for having kept it here on XLTV since 6 a.m. It's now past 9. We apologize for going 5 minutes past 9, but usually stop at 9 a.m. And I can thank you enough for keeping a good audience. Have a lovely day. We catch up tomorrow. Program Kumalile Komawol na Korencha. Thank you so much, Atop, for coming on the show.
Thank you too for having me.
Have a blessed day.